Hi students, this week we're going to be learning about famous painter Georgia O'Keeffe. Georgia was very famous for looking at nature in a different way than anyone would. She would find the ordinary things and make them extraordinary. She would look at things very close up and focus on the details. So I'm going to focus on the details on my cactus plant that I have here. So find a plant. You can take a picture of an online flower or a cactus, and you're going to take part of the picture and make it big. Okay? So we're not going to draw the whole thing, we're just going to take a little picture of one area of it. So I'm going to use this cactus that I have here at home for inspiration. So let's get inspired by Georgia and create something amazing. This is how my cactus looks like, but if we're going to look at it like an artist does, just like Georgia O'Keeffe does, then we have to look at it from a different perspective, from a different angle, from a different viewpoint. So what we're going to do, just like Georgia O'Keeffe, we're going to zoom in. And we're going to look for an interesting part of it and find its beauty. Like that. It's amazing what Georgia O'Keeffe would see. Look at this beautiful cactus, the colors, the textures that it has. Let's create an artwork inspired by Georgia O'Keeffe. Join me and let's create something beautiful this week. Hello students, this week we're going to get inspired by famous painter Georgia O'Keeffe. And I printed a picture of the cactus that I was showing you guys earlier so I can begin my artwork here. You do not need to print a picture as long as you have one in mind, or if you have something up close that you can look at. Anything from nature or a building or anything, you can draw it here. So your artwork could be landscape like mine, or it could be portrait. Mine is going to be landscape since my picture is landscape. So you can use any art supplies that you have at home or in school. So you can use your crayons, you can use your oil pastels or your watercolors or your markers, anything that you have available, use it to create your artwork. I'm going to be using for mine oil pastels and watercolors. So you're gonna need to take your pencil and get it ready and begin your artwork. It does not have to look like mine. Try to find something and look at it like how Georgia O'Keeffe would look like. So I'm gonna begin by drawing my cactus. So I'm going to draw that curvy line that goes from the top all the way to the bottom. So like that. Now I see that there are some horizontal lines of the chair that I have on my background. So I'm gonna draw those. And I'm not going to use a ruler, I'm just going to draw them myself. And it's okay if they're not perfect, but we're gonna capture at least how the picture looks. Use your eraser if you feel like you can make things better. Use it. Okay, I'm not going to draw all those details, not yet, because I'm going to color it first. So I'm going to be using my oil pastels to color the cactus, and then I'm going to do those little details inside. So as you can see, I can see darks and lights on my cactus because of the shadows and the lighting. So I'm going to use my dark oil pastel and lightly color it, because I can use my fingertip to blend and spread out. I feel that it needs more oil pastel, I just go on top and add more. Okay, now I'm going to use my light green. As you can see, my fingertips are really messy, so I highly recommend that you guys get some wipes, baby wipes, to clean your fingertips. Now I'm going to use my light green and go on top of my dark green. And it's going to make it look more finished. If you do not have a light green, you can use a yellow oil pastel and mix a green with a yellow and makes a light green. Now for the details that I have here, those little dots and those little spikes right there, I'm going to be using a peach. So what I'm going to do is just get the little peach and just make little kind of dots like this. And I'm also going to take a yellow pastel and put little dots like that. Just like those that we have here. And notice that there are spaces in between, so you don't want them too close up if you're working on a cactus. So I'm first going to do all of them with peach, and then I'm going to add some yellow to them. They're mostly about the same size. So let's look at the picture. All right, now I'm going to add some yellow on them. I really like how this is coming out. Okay. Now, for my background, I'm going to be using a brown oil pastel, just to trace, because I want to use my watercolors. So I'm just going to trace the chair that I have on my background, like this. And I'm just going to add a little bit of brown. And I'm going to use my finger to spread it out. Oops, I did not clean my fingertip. You can see some peach tones in there, which is fine. just go over it again. But don't forget to wipe your fingertips with a wipey so you don't get other colors mixed that you don't want. And it's going to be brown here and then white, so I'm gonna have to leave that white, and then here brown and then white and then brown, so it's like a pattern right there. So brown, white, and then brown right here in the bottom. So a little bit of brown right there. And then we have some brown over here. All right, so now I'm going to use my watercolors to add some detail. So let's put my pastels away right here. All right. So I'm going to take some brown watercolor. And here I have two types of brown. I have a dark brown and a light brown. I'm going to start with the light brown first. And I'm going to add some watercolor. And then I'm going to take some of that dark brown, put it on top of it. If you do not have any watercolors, use what you have at home. If you have any color pencils, markers, crayons, use that. Artwork there and our inspiration from here. Now I can see that some of these little details go around the cactus, so I'm gonna do those now. There you go. Now you can add more detail if you feel that you need to add more. I feel that my cactus is a little bit lighter than this one, but it's okay. This is just an inspired artwork. It does not have to look exactly like that picture, but I am going to add a little bit of darker areas with that, touching those little details that I have here. So if you feel that you need to add more detail, add it. But when you're ready to stop, stop working. I almost finished that. I almost have a feeling that mine's complete. Alright guys, I like the way it looks now. So I'm gonna let it dry, and I hope you have fun doing this Georgia O'Keeffe inspired artwork. Make sure you submit your assignment on Schoology. Have fun, guys.